in last video we have discussed the source transformation, the concept of source transformation. Now today we are going to discuss another basic law, that is Kirchhoff's law. We know this Kirchhoff law basically in two types, that is first is Kirchhoff current law, that is also known as Kirchhoff's first law, which relates the incoming and outgoing currents at any particular junction point in any network, whereas Kirchhoff voltage law relates the algebraic sum of EMFs and voltage drops across any closed loop. So let us see how these law works. First of all, we are going to discuss the KCL, that is Kirchhoff's current law. What the statement of this law is, in any junction point or at any junction point, the algebraic sum of the incoming currents will be equal to the algebraic sum of outgoing current. That is, if you consider this particular diagram, then we can see that I1, I2 and I3 are the incoming currents, whereas I4 and I5 are the outgoing currents. How we consider the incoming and outgoing currents? It is very simple. We assume ourselves at this particular point, and whatever current is coming towards us is it I1 and I2 and I3, that is incoming. It is coming towards us, and from seeing this particular point, I4 and I5 are going far away. So they are the outgoing currents. Fine. So there are 5 currents in totality, and out of which 3 I1, I2 and I3 are the incoming currents, and I4 and I5 are the outgoing currents. Now we have basically two assumptions, that whatever are the incoming currents, we will consider those currents as a positive, and whatever are the outgoing currents, we will consider them as a negative current. So I1, I2 and I3 were the incoming currents. So I1 plus I2 plus I3, because we have considered the incoming as positive, and I4 and I5 will be negative, because we have considered it as a outgoing current. So I1 plus I2 plus I3 will be equal to, transfer to the other side, I4 plus I5. So we can see that incoming current will be equal to the outgoing current. Fine. What happens if we consider the opposite one? Means if we consider the incoming as negative and outgoing as positive, then what? Nothing will change. It will give you the same result. How? Let's see. I1 will be negative I1 minus negative I2 minus negative I3, plus we have considered outgoing as a positive. So plus I4 plus I5 will be equal to 0. Again, if we transfer these three to other side of equal, then it will come out to be I4 plus I5 will be equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Fine. So we can see here in these two equations, they both are basically same, although we have taken the different assumptions of incoming and outgoing currents. So what we can do, we can just simply stick to only one assumption, that is most common one, that is the incoming will be positive and outgoing will be negative. Fine. So in most of the for upcoming cases, we will consider only this particular assumption. Fine. Again, now we have to consider, we have to see another law, that is KVL. Now what KVL says? KVL basically relates the EMFs in any closed loop to the voltage drop in that particular loop. Means it says that in any closed loop, the total EMF will be, the total algebraic sum of the total EMF will be equal to the voltage drops, right? So EMF, that is E, will be equal to, or summation of E plus summation of this. What is this? This is I into R1 plus I into R2. That comes out to be summation of E plus summation of I R, we can say, that is equal to 0. This is what? Kirchhoff's voltage law. So there are two laws. First is Kirchhoff current law, which relates the incoming and outgoing currents, whereas the Kirchhoff second law relates the EMFs, that is algebraic sum of the EMFs, to its voltage drop in any closed loop. Fine? Okay. Now we are going to discuss series and parallel combination of resistances. This is a very important topic as you will use it in maximum cases of DC network as well as in network technology. Fine. So let us see that if you consider there are two resistances connected in series R1 and R2, then the equivalent resistance across the point A and B will be RAB, that is resistance between the point A and B. So if two resistances are connected in series, so their equivalent resistance between point A and B will be R1 plus R2. If we consider three resistances connected between the 2 points A and B, then their equivalent resistance will be R1 plus R2 plus R3. So series combination of resistances is very simple. Now we take the parallel combination of two resistances here onwards, right? If there are two resistances R1 and R2 connected in parallel, so the equivalent resistances can be calculated by the basic formula is 1 upon R equivalent is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. This is the basic formula to calculate the combination in parallel, right? So we take the LCM, that is R1 R2. Now R2 plus R1, we will reverse it. So R equivalent will be R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Here it comes. RAB, that is resistance between A and B, is equal to R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. Now if we consider the three resistances connected in parallel, then how we are going to calculate the equivalent resistance? In this case, again we can use a similar concept. So R1 R2 R3 divide by what was here? R1 plus R2. So what we should do? R1 plus R2 plus R3. Is it correct? I don't think so. Why? It is basically the combination of two resistances. So it will be R1 R2, R2 R3 and R3 R1. Always remember this. If you have any confusion, you can go by the basic formula. In case of three resistances connected in parallel, how we can use that formula? That will be 1 upon R equivalent will be equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. So this will be the answer. Fine. Now if we have the four resistances connected in parallel, then what will we do? In that case, the point A and point B will have the equivalent resistance as what will be in the numerator? It will be R1, R2, R3, R4 divided by. Now what? When there were three resistances, there were combination of 2 in denominator. So here it will be combination of 3, right? So it will be R1, R2, R3 plus R2, R3, R4 plus R3, R4, R1 plus R4, R1, R2. If you proceed further, it will comes again R1, R2 and R3, right? So these are the two basic concepts which we have seen, that series combination of resistances and parallel combination of resistance. The point to remember is in the series combination, always remember or note it down this particular point. In series combination, current always remains same. Current always remains same in the series circuit, and voltage divides. The voltage drop across this resistance will be V1 and this will be V2. Whereas in parallel, the voltage will remain same but current will divide. So this total current I will be divided into I1, I2 and I3. So we have understood two basic things, that is, if we consider a series circuit, then voltage will divide in series and current will remain same or constant. Whereas in parallel circuit, the current will divide, whereas voltage will remain same across the two terminals. Right? Okay, fine. Let us see one numerical example of it. If we consider a resistance of 10, and we have to calculate the equivalent resistance across the point AB. So what we have to do? We have to use the basic formula of this RAB, that is 10 into 10 divided by 10 plus 10. That comes out to be 100 divided by 20, that is 5 ohm. Fine? Okay. What's next? Now, if we have three resistances connected in parallel, now what? Again we have to use the same formula, R1, R2, R3 divided by R1, R2 plus R2, R3 plus R3, R1. So it is 1000 divided by 100 plus 100 plus 100, that is 1000 divided by 300. So basically it comes out to be 10 upon 3 ohms. Right? 10 upon 3 ohms. What if we do the same numerical? If we do the same numerical, but we have to see the values differently. Now what? If we are going to change R1 is equal to 10, R1 is equal to 10, R2 is equal to suppose 5 and R3 is equal to again 10, right? So what we have to do now? We have to use the same formula RAB. There is a very important point or concept behind explaining all these three numericals, okay? Just now we have to do R1 into R2 into R3 divide by R1 R2 plus R2 R3 plus R3 R1. So it is 10 into 10, 100 into 5, 500 divided by 50 plus 50 plus 100. So it is 500 upon 200, basically 5 upon 2. Now what was the logic behind explaining three simple numericals to you people is, there is a very one important trick behind it. When we see that two similar value resistances connected in parallel, when there were two similar value of resistances connected in parallel, the answer was the value of resistances divided by 2. So it was basically 10 upon 2. So it is 5. When there were three resistances of similar value, that is 10, 10, 10 connected in parallel. So the answer was 10 upon 3, right? But when we have when we have considered a different value of resistance, then the answer was 5 upon 2. So the logic is, if there are combination of resistances having same value, having same value. If there were two resistances, the answer was divided by 2 basically, 10 upon 2, that is 5. Now the similar three values divided by 3, so answer was 10 upon 3. Now if we have same value, suppose 20 4 times, then what will be the answer? 20, 20, 20, 20. The answer will be 20 upon 4, that is 5 ohms. That is 5 ohms. Simple trick. But whenever there is a dissimilarity in the resistances, then this trick will not work. Always keep this in mind. Always keep this in mind. When there are dissimilar values of resistances, you cannot simply divide it by 4 or 3 or by 2. Right? They must be solved by a basic formulas only. Basic formulas only in this case, like in this case. Right? So, this was the logic. What was the logic? If there is similar value of resistances connected in parallel, then it can be divided by the combination number of, if there are 2, then divide by 2, if it is 3, then divide by 3, if it is 4, then divide by 4. But if there is dissimilar value of resistances, then this concept cannot work. You have to solve it by basic rules. Right? So, what we have discussed today? We have discussed today is, first thing is Kirchhoff's law. Kirchhoff, how many laws Kirchhoff has given? There are two laws. First is Kirchhoff current law and second is Kirchhoff voltage law. What does first law say? It says that at any junction point, the algebraic sum of incoming current will be equal to the outgoing current. Right? Whereas Kirchhoff's second law relates the EMF, algebraic sum of EMF to the algebraic sum of voltage drop across any closed loop. Right? So, what we have discussed further, we have discussed the series and parallel combination of resistances. In series it is very simple, R1 plus R2, R1 plus R2 plus R3, right? What we have understood, a very important point is the voltage divides in series whereas current remains same or constant. The second point is in the parallel the current divides but voltage remains same. It is reversible, right? And one more important point we have understood, that if there is a parallel combination of similar value of resistances, that we can use the trick which we have discussed earlier. But if there are dissimilar value of resistances connected in parallel, then we have to go by the basic formula or basic law. Okay, fine. Okay, keep watching. We'll continue with our series. Okay, thank you.